Okay, in this lecture, I want to build on top of the devices entity we've been working with. I want to actually incorporate into starting of an inventory app of some sort. So in order to take the next steps with that, I wanted to incorporate an employee entity with a first name, last name, employee number, and then also introduce some more common database constructs. We want to get an association where we have an employee who can claim or check out many devices. So employee would have many devices. What's cool is Rails has a built-in helper where you can set up an employee has many devices and device belongs to employee, which actually sets up the relationship between employee and devices. So that's pretty cool. I want to jump in and actually start doing this, and it's going to take a little bit of work to build it out, but in the end, it'll be pretty cool. So the first thing I need to do is actually, I don't even have an employee in our system, so I want to get that going. And then I need to set up this association, etc. So first, let's get employee into the system. So what I want to do is get over to our app here. Make sure I'm in the app, which I am, which is cool. Yep, all my Rails files are here. Okay. So I just want to generate a scaffold like we've done before with devices or device. I want to generate a scaffold for employee with a first name, last name, employee number, which could be alphanumeric, so I'm just going to do string on that. And that looks like that should do it. Okay. All right, cool. And might as well go take a look to see what we got here. Models. I think one thing I wanted to do for sure was add some validations here. I think I can just take the concept here. Except I want to do first name, last name, and employee number. So that's cool. The next thing I wanted to do was actually set up the association between device and employee. So I'm going to have to add an employee employee ID foreign key to the device field or device entity. So currently our device, if I look at the schema, there's nothing associating it to employee here. So that's why I need to add a foreign key. So let me show you how to do that. And since it's altering the database, we have to set up another migration. So anything database altering, we need to do a migration. And so in order to do that, I'm just going to generate migration. And I'm going to add an employee to devices. And so notice something different here. In other scaffolds and migrations, typically you put the data type right after that. Well, in Rails, they have a convenience. This is basically a convenience type called references, which will set up the foreign key for you, and I believe it sets up an index in the database for you. So it sets up quite a number of things for you that you need anyway with a foreign key. So the references there is a Rails helper for migration, so it's pretty slick. So let's run that. And then let's go look at it. Migration. There we go. So first we have one for create employees. And there's, creating a table, first name, last name, timestamps. And the next one that I just did was references. So it adds a reference for devices to an employee with a foreign key true. So that'll set up the index and all that. Finally, I think, oh yeah. So this doesn't do any alter the database at all. You have to actually run the migrations, right? So these last two migrations still need to be ran. So to run those, we've seen this command before. So rake db:/migrate will look through my migration files, and if any of them have not been ran, it'll run them. So we're going to do that now. Sweet. So we have our employees created and our devices created. So let's go look at our schema again. Actually, oh no, I closed it. Schema. All right. So here, notice our schema has been updated. We have our employees table created, and then we have we've added our employee ID. So that's our foreign key. And optimally, trying to optimize the usage of our database, it added an index for us, so that after accessing associated records will be fast, because we're going to be accessing this employee ID a lot. Okay, this is looking good. So the next thing I want to do is, let me close this up. Is update our seeds, because now I want to generate some employees. So we have a bunch of devices created, and then this is on a new run of a seed. We'll just delete all our employees, all our devices, and then we'll go through, create 100 devices, which is good. And then, I don't know, I only need like maybe 10 employees right now. Employee.create. See, first name, last name, and employee number. So let's go look at the Faker gem and see what we have available to us. Let's see, do we have anything around employee or user? Family Guy. Okay. Funny name. Hacker. Hipster. That's funny. There is a name. What have we got in here? Name is good. We just need something for employee number, like some alpha numeric thing. Simpsons, that is so funny. Anything within string? Nope. Team, what do I have here? Nope, team names. Well, there's got to be something to generate a random number, alphanumeric thing. Creditor reference kind of works. Might use that. Oh, ID number. No. Well, serial number maybe. All right, well, I think I've taken enough time here. I want to make sure I move on and okay, so let's get to the name one first. So faker name, first name, faker name, last name. Okay. And then employee number. Let's see, let's keep looking. No. Trying to look, just see if there's anything good in here. Dang. Sorry, everybody. Just fast forward through some some of this looking. Invoice. Yeah, let's just use this. Okay. So we'll create 10 employees. And we won't do any associations right now. Nope, won't do any of that. We'll set that up later in the UI. Although we could come back and do this, but I just want to set these up individually for now, and then we'll associate them in the UI when we get to it. Okay, so now we need to go. Now we've done the work in our database, we want to go relate them in the models. So over here in employee, Rails has these helpers, has many devices, which is really cool. I mean, these are really straightforward. And belongs to employee. So really slick there. And then Rails kind of sets that up for us. In fact, we could, even though we don't have anything related right now, we can still test that the associations work. So let me run, actually let me run the seed first. Rails DB seed, so I can get new devices in. Okay. And I should be have an employee count of 10, which I do. Employee.first, which should show me, all right, sweet. And then so if I do employee.first.devices, should be empty array, which it is. And if I grab a device and say employee, did I spell that right? Belongs to, did I save it? Belongs to employee. Maybe I didn't. So device dot first, yes. Oh, we didn't get devices created for some reason. 0. Okay, why is that happening? Might as well just do some investigative work. Maybe I messed up something in the seed. Not sure that I would, but Let me require faker. So I'm going to look at, see if I have any errors in here. So employee cannot be blank. Oh, got it. Yeah, I've set it up. So yeah, it is requiring that I need to have an employee. All right, I can do that. So let's just do create the employees first, and then for employee, we will get a random dot select. Let's see, employee dot pluck ID. We'll just grab all the IDs from the employee, and then we just want to grab a random one from that. Here, let's try that out in the console. Yep, and then is it? Let me try several things here. Shuffle, that doesn't work. Random. Let's go look at some array methods we have. Ruby array. Sample. Let's see what that does. Sample, yes. That's what I want. Okay, cool. So that'll give us a random one from there. All right, awesome. So let's try this again. Sweet. Well, let's see what kind of errors I ran into. Oh, I need a comma after that last one. Okay, awesome. Now let's try device.first, which, yes. Now I can select employee. It's been assigned Erwin Langash. All right, awesome. So we have our association set up. Very, very cool. We have our, yeah, that's all working. That's all working. Awesome. Well, let's set this up. Let's go look in our UI now. Make sure everything's running over here. I should probably restart the server just in case. Go look in our UI. Everything's still looking good here. Yep. Okay, so what I want to do now is if I go edit, I want to have a drop down of the employee that it's associated to, and then I can change it. So let's go edit the device. I'm going to go to, actually I want to go to the form because it's shared by new and edit, and just add a new drop down list here. So is that right? Yeah, new drop down. And I will stick it, let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll just put it right below. Employee. Now this select is going to be a little different because we want to construct it based off a bunch of employees, not a built-in array that I have in my model. So this one's going to be use a different helper called collection select, and it's going to be for employee ID. It's going to be employee.all. So we want to load all the employees in here, and then we're going to have the ID and a name. I don't have a name for my employee, so I think I'm going to have to go here. In fact, let me see it error out. Oh, in fact, let me just use first name just to see if this works. Okay, cool, that worked. So let me try name, which should make the page blow up. Yes. Undefined name for an employee. So what I want to do in my model is I'm actually going to create a method called name. Whoa. Name, which I'm just going to concatenate the first and last name. Let's see if that works. Cool, so we got first and last name in there. Awesome. So we can, all this form helper does is it either looks for a method or an attribute that's defined on the model. And so in the first case, I did first name, which loaded successfully. I changed it to name, which there is no attribute or method at the time, and it blew up. And then I added a name method, which then it recognized and loaded it successfully. So so that worked out just great. And it seems to be, let me just change it and say update. Okay, so we need to update the show page and maybe the index page to display. So let's go to devices show. And we'll just try that. Yee, no. Dot name. Yes. All right. So that looks like that's working, and I could go change it again. Ah, it's the same thing we had last time. We need to go update the strong params in the controller. All right, I can do that. Devices controller, strong params. Remember, this is just a security thing. We only want to put trusted parameters in there. So that makes sense. Let's try this again. Yep, we got it. It's looking good. Do we want to put the owner out here? Yes, we do. So that's the index page. And let's see. Employee and wait a second. Operating system. Why did I have that twice? Oh, got it. I already did that. So we want to go device.employee.name, link to the device, and employee up here. And let's see what that looks like. Nice. It's looking good. Ooh, except maybe we could have the employee name linked to the employee show. What is that going to look like? Oh wait, device.employee. And Rails will be smart about that and should link to the employee show. That would be awesome. I have a footer error. I know, let's see, in the layout, is that where we did that footer? But the footer is defined in devices. So yeah, I need to move that out. Where should I move that to? So we'll move that, and then I think over here I can just do layouts footer. That way it's in a more global spot. So yeah, I need to work on some navigation here because this scaffold generated a back which takes me to the employees, which is also a cool looking view. But yeah, I need to set up some sort of global navigation, so maybe we'll do that in the next lecture. But at least I have links from the devices over to the employee, which is cool. So yeah, I need to work on some of that. I'm not going to do that right now. I can clean up the UI later, but I just want to make sure and get the association working correctly first. And I think one last thing is in the employee show, it would be nice, let's see if I go, to see all the devices associated to this employee. That would be cool. So maybe I will go to employee show. And do devices. And then iterate through all the devices. And maybe I'll do that in a list. Device dot, what do we have? Device dot, I'm just going to do name for now, but this also could be some better formatted value. I just want to kind of get this working. So let me select one of these. Whoa. They have that many devices? Let me think here. Let's see. Employee.devices, device.name. Yeah, unless we, oh, maybe they do. Yeah, they probably do. That's right, because there's 100 devices. And so, yeah, the odds of somebody getting a bunch of them is, yeah, okay, no, that's cool. So yeah, awesome. And then we could provide links that go back to the device, etc. But you see the point there. We can start creating these associations in the views, linking to each other, and setting up a pretty nice little system here. But definitely not complete as far as that goes. Most important thing in this lecture was actually setting up the starting of what could be an inventory app with employees and associations between them and devices. So cool. I know this lecture ran a little long, but I hope it was really helpful and meaningful. If you need to watch it a couple times to let it sink in, that's great. I'll also provide some a link that you could read up more about this on. But for now, I will talk to you later.